friends, it is Kate here. Thank you so much for jumping on my channel and joining me for a class today. I have got another extreme beginner Pilates class just for you. Now this one is all about really toning and turning on those deep abdominal muscles that help to keep our pelvis completely and totally still while we practice. While this is a very beginner class, it is something that all of us struggle with, myself included, so it's wonderful to come back to the basics all the time. Give me a like, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments below, and roll out your mat. Let's get started. We'll begin lying down on our mat. Find a comfortable position and walk your feet in so they're in line with your sitting bones. Let your hands hang off by the sides of your body and just start to rock in your pelvis a little bit. We're just tipping our pelvis one way, pulling it back. You should feel the small of your back pull away and then kind of squish down. It's pulling away and then squishing it down. Just finding a little bit of mobility in our pelvis. And then come back to center, and now I want you to lift your left hip up, set it down, lift the right hip up, set it down. So before we were rocking back and forth, now we're rocking side to side. We actually want to get out all of this movement right now because for the rest of class, we're going to pay attention to keeping that pelvis totally and completely still using our abdominal muscles. So we're rocking side to side. Now eventually bring yourself back to center, and I want you to take your hands to your stomach and just let yourself relax here for a minute. We're not actually turning on, we're not engaging anything. I just want you to feel what naturally happens. For me, if I naturally just lie here, my tummy muscles are soft and there is a space between my low back and the mat. We want to imprint our spine, and to do that, I'm going to start by turning on my stomach muscles. It's not a sucking in kind of feeling. We never want to suck in our stomach in Pilates, but we do want to engage. And for me, it's kind of a feeling of if I was to squeeze my stomach with my hands and clasp them together, it's that kind of feeling there. I am pressing the small of my back down and drawing my low belly in, my oblique muscles towards one another, kind of zipping up everything. That's the feeling that we want to have throughout any Pilates class that we're in, that feeling of toning everything to the middle of our body. So for me, when I started off, bringing my hands to my stomach and physically kind of pulling everything into the middle of my body was a helpful way for me to remember that. So throughout class, we are going to be touching our stomach so we can make sure that we're turning everything on. Now from here, I want you to keep that feeling of imprinting. I want you to keep that long line and stamp down deeper into your left foot. We want to keep everything on our left side nice and still, including our hips, including our tummy muscles. But our right knee is going to fall out to the side, and then you're going to exhale, bring it back in. Inhale, let your right knee fall off to the side. Exhale, bring it right back in. As you do this, notice what's happening in those hips. Are you letting your pelvis, especially your left hip, peel away from the floor? We want to keep it in place. That feeling of toning, drawing everything in right as my knee comes back is what's helpful for me there. Last one, inhale, open. Exhale, pull it right back in. Now stamp deeper into your right foot. Allow your left knee to fall off to the side. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, open it out. Exhale, tone those tummy muscles, pull it in. Slow and steady wins the race, my friends. This is not about speed. And in fact, even though this is an extreme beginner class, I will let you know that my tummy muscles are definitely turned on here. I am getting a lovely little workout myself. We don't have to do great big giant things to strengthen our core muscles. Let's just do one or two more right here. Now, stamp once more into that left foot. Take your hands a little bit lower so they're kind of on the front of your pelvis, but we can still feel those abdominal muscles engage. Stamp down into the left foot, take a big inhale, and you're simply going to lift your right knee up as you exhale. I want you to touch the foot back down to the floor. Exhale, lift it up. Now, this is certainly not about how high your leg is lifting. What it is about is moving exclusively in the right leg while nothing in our pelvis moves. Let's do 3 or 4 more right here on your own breath. And maybe even as you lift, even as you exhale, you still draw those fingers towards one another, encouraging your muscles to do all the work for you. One more time, big inhale, exhale, pull it up. Set that foot on the floor. Same thing to the other side. Now stamp down into the right foot. Feel each and every vertebra touch the mat behind you. Big inhale. Exhale, lift the left. Inhale, drop it down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now, really keep those muscles engaged. If we want to make it a little bit more challenging, maybe we will take our hands off to the side. But if that feeling of holding onto your stomach to encourage those muscles to stay connected, to stay working, is helping for you, you do you. Couple more times, lifting and lowering. And then this next time, set that foot down, stay. Take a breath. Exhale, lift the right leg. Inhale, drop it down. Exhale, lift the left leg. So instead of just working one side, we're going back and forth. Now this is an easy spot that we might start to kind of hula dance, letting our hips shift side to side. Keep it slow, keep it steady so nothing moves in the body. Maybe bring your hands down to your hips. Really feel, is one side kind of lowering? We want to keep it nice and even. Let's do maybe 2 more sets to each side. Inhale, drop, exhale, lift. Inhale, drop, exhale, lift. Last set. 1 to the right, 1 to the left. Now lift the right knee up and stay. Now from here, I want you to think about your knee and a little string holding it up, and that string is going to start to circle. So is our knee. So we're circling that knee around in one direction. But this is an easy spot again for us to start hula dancing, to let our low back move away. This is not about speed. It is about stamping down into that foot, connecting to the mat behind your back, keeping your pelvis still, keeping those abdominal muscles drawing towards one another and engaged. Let's do 2 more circles in this direction that we're going, and then reverse. And you don't have to have an exact breath right now. Really what I want you to focus on is the muscles, or are the muscles. But finding those little gentle circles while keeping the rest of our body completely and totally still. Slow that down, set your right foot on the floor, big breath. Exhale, stamp down, lift up the right knee. The left knee. You knew what I was talking about. Go ahead and begin to take those gentle circles with our opposite leg lifted. Now, you may notice one side feels incredibly different than the other. That's absolutely normal. We are very imbalanced creatures. Pilates does help to eliminate some of those imbalances, but just know they're going to happen, and that's absolutely natural. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Pause and then reverse those circles. Can you keep stamping down into that right foot? Could you draw your ribs in? Could you pull that belly button closer to your spine? Are your hips moving or swaying at all? We want to keep them still. Once or twice more right here, and set that foot down. Now, we haven't talked about it yet in class, but I certainly hope that our shoulders are not reaching towards one another or up to our ears. We want those connected to the back of the mat, just like our body is. Feel your shoulders open. Keep your hands on your stomach. Press deeper into your left foot. Great big inhale. Lift your right leg up. Now, this time, if we can, we're going to extend our leg up to the sky. If there's a soft bend in your knee, that is absolutely fine. But we want to keep the back of our body connected. We want to keep those shoulders open. And of course, we want to keep encouraging our abdominal muscles to draw towards one another. Actively flex your foot. Now, stamp down even harder into that left foot. From here, we're going to allow our right foot to move off to the side, out to the right, very small. Exhale, pull it right back in. Inhale, let it slide off to the side. Exhale, stamp down into the left foot, draw the right foot back over the hip. This is a very gentle, very small movement, but it is one that turns on my abdominal muscles quite a bit. Just using the weight of my own leg to kind of open up is really challenging to keep that left side of my body totally in place. My right leg gets to open, but my left side stays still. Exhale, pull it back. Let's do one more on this side. Pull it right back in. Take a big deep inhale and allow your leg to come on down. Press deeper into the mat now with the right foot, big breath. Lift the left and extend it up to the sky. Take a moment to arrive. Notice those differences from one side to the other. Did your shoulders cave in? Could we open them up? Let's flex our foot. Reach that heel away. Remember, if there's a soft bend in your knee, that is perfectly fine. But from here, inhale, allow the leg to fall off to the left. Exhale, tone the tummy, pull it right back in. Inhale, open that leg out to the side. Exhale, pull it right back in. 2 more, just like that. Last one, open it out. Exhale, close, pull it in. Take a breath. Lower the foot down. Stamp down deep into that left foot. Draw those low ribs in towards one another. Cinch the waist just a bit more. Exhale, lift your right foot up now to a little tabletop height. So we want that knee in kind of a 90-degree angle, not letting our heel hang down, but reaching that foot out towards the wall across from us. Actively flex the foot just like we did before and take your right hand to the top of your right thigh. I want you to cinch the waist more, to feel that lumbar spine pressing into the mat, and now actively press your hand into your thigh and actively press your thigh back into your hand, turning on all the muscles on that side. You can take your left hand and keep it on your tummy or maybe bring it to your left hip. Either of those options is perfectly fine, but let's hold here for a count of 5, continuing to press into our hand, into our thigh. Keep that breath even. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the muscles. Take a big inhale. Exhale on the way out and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, relax. One more set. You got it. 5. Press into each other. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Set that foot on the floor. Move it around if you need to. Big inhale. Exhale, lift the left leg. Actively flex. Find that 90-degree spot. Give yourself a moment. Does anything feel different? What do you need to concentrate on? When you're ready, hand to the top of your thigh. Broaden your shoulders, low back in. Cinch the waist like you've got a tight little belt on. Ribs are pulling towards one another. And now it's that little activation of pressing your leg into your hand and pushing your hand back into your thigh. Let's do it for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. If you're keeping your hand on your hip, maybe move it to your stomach or vice versa just to feel the difference there. Again, pull it in, tone the tummy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, relax. One more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Set your foot on the floor. Give yourself a little momentum, a little movement. And then when you're ready, exhale, lift up your right leg. Keep it there. If that's enough, we're going to do it again right here. Or we'll lift up our left leg. Seal your inner thighs towards one another. Actively flex your foot. Is your low back moving away from the mat? We need to zip up. Draw those hands toward one another so you can encourage those muscles to stay connected. If it's too much to keep both legs up, at any time, set your feet on the floor. Otherwise, take your hands to the tops of your thighs, pull your belly button in, and let's do that little activation of pushing and kind of pulling towards one another. Go ahead, press your legs and hands towards one another for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Are you holding your breath here? We don't want to hold our breath. We want to keep it even. So keep breathing. No turning beet red, my friends. Let's do it again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Last set. Make it the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your feet on the floor. Release those hands side to side. Maybe sway the knees if that feels nice. And then once more, hands to our stomach. Draw the ribs towards one another. Feel your spine touch the mat behind you. And let's just do a small bridge, just to release any tension through the front of our body. Press down into your heels without lifting your toes, and then think about tucking the tail just enough that we can start to lift our sacrum, and then one vertebra at a time all the way up to our nice easy bridge. From here, still press down into both feet. Think of toning your inner thighs towards one another. Maybe bring your hands to your stomach again. Are you letting yourself kind of splay here, letting those ribs open up? Or could we again encourage those muscles to draw towards one another? You could even bring your hands underneath your hips or underneath your glute muscles, your tushy a little bit if you need just a little extra attention, a little extra love. But otherwise, tone the stomach. Stamp down into the mat. It's that feeling all over again of our hands and legs pressing into one another. And just hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale. Exhale, roll all the way down to the ground. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug, a little squeeze. Maybe make yourself a teeny tiny little ball. And we'll rock and roll ourselves all the way up to a seat. Go ahead, give yourself a pat on the back. Thank yourself for doing something just for you. Be so proud of all that your body has accomplished today. I am so glad to have you here. Have a wonderful rest of your day.